Today's card is a Father's Day card, which is coming up in June, and I have a hipster kind of card. It's got some fun elements on it, using the Homeward Bound papers and embellies, as well as some cool dazzles and stamps. So please join me as I take you through the making of this card. I'll be using today the Homeward Bound paper pack, the Homeward Bound embellies, the mustache small stamp, and it says "You're Rad," really cool stamps there, and then also the Rad Dad Dazzles sheet, and this has really fun, funky shapes on it, glasses and mustaches of all sizes, and then it says Hip Star. It has Rad Ride, or you could put Rad Dad, and then dads are the original hipsters, and some fun kind of antique looking things, cameras, this funny bicycle, and then another normal looking bicycle. Anyway, those are the 4 items we're going to be using in today's project. So the first thing I've done is covered my blank card with this striped paper, and this is a 6.5 inch by 5 inch card. I have my StazOn in black here, and I'm just going to use a cosmetic sponge to ink the edges of my card. Easy enough. I just dab it on the ink pad and kind of gently dab onto the edges, and you can go as heavy or as light as you wish. But I love how you can make it kind of a faded or feathered look. You can make it sort of distressed looking if you want, by just doing different motions with the ink pad or with the sponge here. Now I'm going to use a technique called generational stamping to make a background pattern on my card. So first I put the glasses stamp on my stamp block. I have the black StazOn here. So what I'm going to do is ink up my stamp once on scratch paper, and then quickly come over and stamp on my card. So that's why it's called generational, because, for example, this would be first generation, then this would be second generation. So just depends on how many images you generate with one inking of the stamp. So I'm going to do that for a whole border along the top, maybe just a little bit there, and then just keep going. Actually, I'm going to alternate that with the mustache. So take off my glasses, put on my mustache. Sounds kind of funny. But just inking up the stamp nice and black at first, so you get a consistent look. Stamp once on scratch paper. This time I'm going to go off this edge first. So that way you get a nice lighter look with the stamp. It's not pure black. It's not going to be so distracting in the background. It's got a translucent effect. You can still see the stripes through the stamping. So that's what I want. Stamp once off, once on. So I'm just going to keep continuing this pattern all the way down my card. And there you have a really fun and funky all over pattern. And you can do this with just the glasses or just the mustaches if you wanted. It's pretty much a universal technique that you can use with pretty much any, stamp that looks good repeated on your card. So I've taken my words from my Dazzles sheet and put them on it's kind of an ivory flourish paper here, and just cut them out in long rectangles, and just made an angled cut on either end of that rectangle to create these shapes. And one thing I wanted to tell you about the word original is you can use this arrow piece, which is the background, and use that as your word, or you can take out the innies, which is what these are, from those. So just placing these individual letters on your project. So that's 2 ways you can use the word original, so I thought that was cool. So these are going to go on my card, but first I want to matte them on this brown paper. Oh, and I'm also going to ink the edges of each one just to make them stand out a bit. Alright, so what I've done here is glued this green strip across. Now this is 2.5 inches thick, and it's glued about 2 inches up from the bottom, in case you were wondering. And I have foam tape on the back of each of my word pieces here. So I'm going to arrange these about like that. And I'm also going to place some dazzles in this area after I foam tape these down. And I went ahead and finished the card. So here is the finished product. Let me give you a little bit of a closer look. So here along the top I've placed 2 brads, and I did not put the prongs of the brads through the card. What I did was I bent them and broke them off, and then I just added foam tape to the back of the brad fronts, and those stuck on quite nicely. So that's a nice way to keep the back of your card flap nice and smooth. So dads are the original hipsters, and so you can see the background pattern stamping I did here. And then this is just a sort of a smattering of different images. I have the compass rose, and I have a little guy with glasses and hat and mustache, and then this cute bicycle, as well as the arrow and stars dazzles just kind of scattered about. And then original overlaps this green piece. The bicycle goes a bit off of it, so that's a nice way to make it cohesive. Original hipsters. And you can see here I've just inked just the very edges of the words pieces here, the ivory paper, and more of that pattern along the background, and another set of brads. So I did opposite corners, so the large brads in the bottom left and the top right, and then the small brads, red in the bottom right and blue in the top left. And I hope you guys enjoyed this card. Great for Father's Day. And please stay tuned for today's savings bundle. First item in today's bundle is the mustache small stamp. Has a fun glasses and mustache. And then we also have Your Rad. And we also have the Rad Dad Dazzles sheet. And you can kind of see all the cool images and words on there. And the Homeward Bound Embellies pack, which comes with 28 brads plus die cut shapes on some of them that you can decorate with. And of course the double-sided Homeward Bound paper pack comes with 12 different papers, and there are 12 designs, 6 sheets, a design on each side of those sheets, and then you're getting double of each sheet, so you're getting 12. So to take a look at the papers themselves, here's the first one, and it has a really beautiful kind of faded and layered and weathered looking collage in this corner, and it's got sort of a postal feel to it. We've got the red and white stripes here at the bottom, lots of stamps, postcards, some maps, so there's pretty much everything on here that you can imagine. On the back we have a red globe design that you might see the latitude and longitude lines on top of a globe. So that's fun. And then we also have a postal stripe across the right side of this page, which is one of my favorites. It's got some floral and flourish looking embellishments on it with the map here. And these two go together quite nicely, as you can see, to make a complete scrapbooking spread background. But you could turn them any way you want. On the back of this one is an all over green and blue weathered flourish pattern. I love, love, love the hot air balloons. I think they're super cute in the red kind of rust tones. On the back of this one is that map print. I'm not sure what city this is or whatnot, but it's kind of a fun texture to put in your background. Then we have an all over compass print, blue and green, very nice. On the back of that is the brown circle design. And then we have the all over red and white stripe with a little bit of a compass embellishment in the corner with the blue, kind of a globe looking pattern there. And then we also have the blue stripe, blue and white, with a really beautiful brown flourish along the bottom. And a nice ivory flourish pattern. And of course on the packaging you are going to get a project idea for a scrapbook page, a card, and on the back a full scrapbook spread and another more details on that card. And then it just shows you the matching products if you want to get some Dazzles and paper towel, and those are the embellies there. And of course an image of all the papers, which I find this helpful when you have this in your stash. You can quickly look, okay, what patterns, you know, do I want to use? So those are all the items in today's bundle. Thank you guys so much for watching, and join me again next week for another fun project. See ya!